Okay, students, we are given that a person crosses a 1,000-meter long street in 5 minutes. Okay, and we are asked to find the speed of the person. Now you have to know there is a formula which says that distance is equal to speed times time, and since we are asked to find the speed, I can rewrite this as speed is equal to distance divided by time. This is the formula we would be using. So the distance given here is 1,000 meters and the time that is given here is 5 minutes. Now since the distance is in meters, I would have to give the speed in meters per second. So 5 minutes has to be converted into seconds. Okay, so therefore the speed will be now distance 1,000 meters divided by the time, 5 times 60. Now the zeros can be cancelled. 5 divides 20 times, so I've got 20 over 6. Now this would give me 3.33. Now this is actually meters per second, but I want to convert it into kilometers per hour. So what you got to do is you take 3.33 and simply multiply it by 3.33 has to be multiplied with 18 over 5, and that would give me the answer in kilometer per hour. This is going to be 18 times 3.33, so 60 divided by 5, which is going to be 12 kilometers per hour. So this is going to be my speed. Students, in this question we are given that the speed of a car increases by 3 kilometers after every 1 hour. Now if the distance traveled by the car in the first hour, if it is given to be as 40 kilometers, we are asked to find the total distance traveled in 10 hours. Okay, so the important point you have to note here is every 1 hour the speed increases by 3 kilometers. So we start with 40. So the first hour the distance is 40 kilometers. So after the first hour, the second hour would be 43. Next it's going to be 46, and then 49, and then 52, and then go up to 10 hours. So we have to go up to 10 hours. Okay, so we need to find the total distance traveled. Now there is a formula that we would use. This is actually an arithmetic progression, or we call it as AP. So by using the AP formula we can easily obtain the solution to this question. So the question now is, what is the formula? So the sum of n terms is given as n over 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 times d. This is the sum that you have to use. Now the total number of terms that we are given here is going to be 10, right? So that has to be divided by 2, and 2 times the first term is 40 followed by 10 minus 1 times the difference. D is a difference, so the difference between the first and the second is going to be 3. So this has to be evaluated. So that is going to give us 2 divides 10 5 times. So 5 of 2 times 40 is 80, positive 10 minus 1 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 107 multiplied with 5, which is going to be 3535. So 535 kilometers. So the total distance traveled by the car in 10 hours by the car in 10 hours is equal to 535 kilometers. Now you have to understand, they are not going to be giving you 10 hours. So imagine they would have given you 23 hours. What would you do? That is why we need to use this beautiful formula. So you can't be just adding up 23 terms. It's not easy. Or if they change from 23 to 123 hours, right? So that is where this formula comes in very handy. Have it in mind. Students, in this question, the distance between the thief and the policeman is given to be as 300 meters. So that means the thief is noticed by the policeman from a distance of 300 meters. So when the thief sees that the policeman is aware of his presence, he starts to run. So the thief is running, right, and the policeman is chasing the thief. Now the speed of the thief is 10 kilometers per hour, okay, and the speed of the policeman is 12 kilometers per hour. These two data are given. Now the question is, after 5 minutes, okay, we are asked to find the distance between the thief and the policeman, right? So to achieve the answer, first and foremost thing what you got to do, you have to find what is called as the relative speed of the thief man and the policeman. So the police is running at 12 kilometers per hour and the thief is 10 kilometers per hour. So the relative speed is 2 kilometers per hour. So that is the speed. So in 1 hour, the relative speed is 2 km, 2 kilometers. So therefore the distance that would be covered, distance covered in 5 minutes, we need to know that, right? So that can easily be calculated. So in 60 minutes, the distance covered is 2 kilometers. So in 5 minutes, what will be the distance? So clearly 5 can divide 60, 12 times 2 can divide 12, 6. So it's going to be 1 over 6. Okay, 1 over 6 kilometers. So if you want to convert this into meters, then you will have to multiply this by 1000. So this would be the distance covered. So this is equal to 1000 meters, 1000 over 6 meters. So this is the distance covered. That is, this is approximately 166.7, okay, 7 meters. This is approximate distance. So having obtained this, so therefore the distance between the policeman and the thief after 5 minutes, so therefore the distance between the thief and the police after 5 minutes will be equal to 300 minus 166.7. So this is approximately equal to 133.3 meters. This is after 5 minutes. Students, in this question we are given that a man is traveling, or he travels the first 160 kilometers of his journey at 60 kilometers per hour, and then he travels the second 160 kilometers at 120 kilometers per hour. Now the question wants us to find the average speed. Okay, we need to know the average speed for the first 320 kilometers. Now to do this, first we have to find the time taken, okay, for the first part of the journey. Now we know that distance is equal to speed into time, and time is distance over speed. Now the first 160 kilometers, the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. So the time taken would be 16 over 6. Okay, the unit is hours. Now this is the first time. The second time, against distance over speed formula, the distance is 160 and the speed is 120 kilometers. So that means we have got 16 over 12, which is 4 over 3 hours. This is what is the time that we have obtained for the second half. So therefore the total time would be 16 over 6 plus 4 over 3. Taking the LCM as 6, we would get 16 plus 8, which is 24 divided by 6, which is 4, right? So 4 hours will be the total time. Now we are asked to obtain the average speed. So therefore average speed will be the total distance. The total distance which the man has covered is 320 kilometers. So that 320 has to be divided by time. So this is going to be 320 divided by 4, which is nothing but 80 kilometers per hour. So this is the final solution. In other words, the average speed for the entire journey, or for the journey that's been mentioned, is 80 kilometers per hour. Students were given two trains, train A and train B, starting simultaneously from destination, or I would say from point P and Q, and they reach at their respective destination. Now train A actually takes 36 hours to reach its destination, and train B takes 16 hours to reach its destination, and they simultaneously cross each other at a certain point. Now the question wants us, if train A's speed is given to be as 200 kilometers per hour, we are expected to find train B's speed. Okay, now there is a formula which is given as S1 divided by S2 is equal to square root of T2 over T1, where S1 is the speed of train A and S2 is the speed of train B. T1 is the time that it takes for train A to reach its destination, and T2 is the time it takes train B to reach its destination. So S1 is the speed of train A, so the speed is given to be as 200. S2 is not given, so square root of T2 is the time it takes for train B, that's given to be as 16, divided by T1 is the time it takes for train A to reach its destination, that's going to be 36. So this is going to be 200 divided by S2 is equal to root of 16 will be 4, root of 36 will be 6. Now this can be further rewritten as 200 divided by 4, and 6 can be moved up, and that is going to be equal to S2. Now rewriting this, 4 divides 25 times 50, so S2 is equal to 50 times 6, which is nothing but 300 kilometers per hour. So this is the speed of train B. Therefore speed of train B is 300 kilometers per hour. Now we are expected to find the time taken by the boy, okay, to run a field which is in the shape of a square. So the side of the square is given to be as 50 meters. Okay, this is the side of the square, and when they say 50 meters, it means 50, 50, 50, 50. All the four sides are 50. So the total distance that the boy is running is actually 4 times 50, which is 200 meters. Now this is the total distance that the boy has to cover. Now what we are given? We are given that the speed, okay, of the boy is given to be as 9 kilometers per hour. Okay, now we have to convert this 9 kilometers per hour into 9 meters per 9 meters per second. So this has to be changed. So to change the unit from kilometers per hour to meters per second, what we got to do is we have to multiply 9 with 5 divided by 18. So when we do that, we would get 5 divided by 2, and that is nothing but meters per second. Okay, why am I doing that? Because the total distance is given in meters. So we got the speed, we got the distance, so we need to use the formula. Distance is equal to speed into time, and therefore from here I need to find the time. So therefore time is equal to distance divided by speed, which is nothing but the distance is 200 meters and the speed is 5 divided by 2, which is equal to 200 of 2 over 5. Now 5 here divides 20 40 times. So that is nothing but 80. 40 times 2 will give you 80. So the time that this person, so this is actually time in seconds, so this is going to be 80 seconds. So the distance that this person covers, which is 200 meters, and the time taken to cover that distance is 80 seconds. So this is the solution for the question. Students, we are given two trains, so train A and train B. Their speeds are in the ratio of 5:8. This has been given. Now it is also given that the second train runs at a speed of 600 kilometers. Okay, or in other words, the second train covers 600 kilometers in 4 hours. Okay, we are expected to find the speed of train or of the first train, right? So this is required. So what are the information that we are being provided with? Train A and train B, their ratio or their speed is given in the ratio 5:8. Train B runs at 600 kilometers, or I would use the word, it covers 600 kilometers in 4 hours. We are asked to find the speed of train A. So what I would do is, let us take the speed of train A to be as 5x kilometer per hour and the speed of train B as 8x kilometers per hour. Now we know the formula, distance is equal to speed into time. We are said that train B covers 600 kilometers in 4 hours. So 600 kilometers is covered in 4 hours. So we now have speed is equal to 600 divided by 4. But we also know the speed of train B is 8x. So this is 8x is equal to 600 divided by 4. Now 4 divides 6 one time, carry 2, 20, that's 5 and a 0. So therefore we now have 8x is equal to 150. Therefore x is equal to 150 divided by 8. So if you were to divide 150 by 8, you get 8, you get 7, 0, 8 8s are 64, and then a 6, a decimal point, and a 0. 8 7s are 56, and a 4, and a 0, and a 5. 8 5s are 40. So x is 18.75. This is what you get. So this implies speed of train A is equal to 5x, which is 5 times 18.75, which is equal to 5 5s are 25, 2, 35, 37, 3, 40, 43, 4, 5 1s are 5, added with a 4, that will give us 93.75 kilometers per hour. This is the speed of train A. So the speed of train B will be 8 times x, which is 8 times of 1875. 8 5s are 44, 8 7s are 56, and a 4 will give you 60, carry 6, 8 8s are 64 and a 6 will give you 70, and a 7, 8 ones are 8, added with 7 will give you 15. So this is going to be 150 kilometers per hour. This is speed of train B. So this is speed of train A. So students, in this question we are given that the distance between Dr. Tom's house and his clinic is actually 100 kilometers. Okay. Now every day he gets up at a certain time, and with that certain time he is able to reach his clinic on time. Now this particular day he gets up 1 hour late, and because of that he has to increase his speed by 5 kilometers per hour and still manages to reach his clinic on time. So the question wants us to find the change of speed, okay, or the increase in speed. In other words, we have to find the original speed and the speed in which he reaches his clinic the second time. So that would be altered speed. So now if I were to write the problem like this, okay, so let x be the original speed of Dr. Tom. So we know the formula, distance is equal to speed multiplied with time, and we know the distance, so we can rewrite this as in form of the time, because we are given that because of Dr. Tom's 1 hour delay he has to increase the speed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite this as time to be equal to distance over speed. Now since I've taken x be the original speed, so this is going to be rewritten as distance is 100 divided by x. Okay, so this is the usual time Dr. Tom reaches his clinic or office, so you can name it whatever you want to see. Okay, usual time. Now when the delay occurs, when the delay of 1 hour occurs, the speed is increased by 5 kilometers per hour from the normal speed. So the new speed is going to be x positive 5. So the distance divided by speed will give us the new time. So that is going to be, the distance is 100, speed is x positive 5. So this is going to be my new time. But yet he is able to reach his destination on time. So the difference occurs only in the time. Okay, so the original time, this is the first time, this is time 1, and this is going to be my time 2. So the difference between time 1 and time 2 is 1 hour. So what we need to do is we need to solve this 100 over x negative 100 over x positive 5. This will be equal to the difference of 1 hour. So we need to solve this. So let us see how we would be able to solve this. So now what we are going to do is we would take the LCM for this as x times x positive 5. So this would give us 100 times x positive 5 negative, this would give us 100x is equal to 1. I can rewrite this as 100x positive 500 negative 100x divided by x times x positive 5 is equal to 1. Now clearly we can cancel 100x and 100x, signs are different. So I now have 500 is equal to, cross multiplying this would give us x times of x positive 5. This is rewritten as x squared positive 5 times x is equal to 500, which is rewritten again x squared positive 5x negative 500 is equal to 0. Now using quadratic formula, this is going to be negative 5 plus or minus root of negative 5 squared negative 4 times a times c is negative 500 divided by 2 times a, which is negative 5 plus or minus root of, so this is b squared. So this is you don't need to place a negative sign there. You need to, the formula is actually x is equal to negative b plus or minus root of b squared negative 4ac divided by 2a. So there is no negative sign inside the parenthesis. So rewriting, this is going to be 25. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 500 will give you 2000 divided by 2. So this is equal to negative 5 plus or minus root of, you're adding, so this is going to be 2025 divided by 2. Now if you take the square root of 2025, this is going to give you 45, and you got negative 5 plus or minus divided by 2. Now there will be two roots here, so if I were to take the first x1 to be as negative 5 negative 45 divided by 2, I would get negative 50 over 2, which is negative 25. For the second case, negative 5 plus 45 divided by 2, I would get 40 over 2, which would be 20. So two values are present here, but I would not be requiring this negative value, so I would only be requiring this positive value. So the initial speed of Dr. Tom was 20 kilometers per hour. Now the altered speed of Dr. Tom is actually 20 positive 5. He races by 5 kilometers per hour, right? So that is going to be equal to 25 kilometers per hour. So this will be the solution to the question.